A small town is very significant to American life because when people think of America, they usually think of New York City, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, the big cities. But when you think about it, it's the traditional values and the roots of America that are in the small towns that make up the majority of America.
Small town in America is when you walk down the street and everybody knows who you are. And you wave to everybody, everybody knows you, and you have the small little restaurant down the street that sells homemade pies. You have the church, busy churches on Sundays, kids running around the yards every day playing.
A small town represents the core values of American life. It represents the core values of faith, family, and community. The community of a small town is a community that deeply cares about each other.
I think it's interesting how Tim chose Soolean and I to perform and record this piece. I am from Canada and she's from Korea. Neither of us are from the United States.
I moved to Pittsburgh, to the outskirts of Pittsburgh, where around 6 o'clock, around dinner time, everything would wind down and all the people would go back to their families. And in a small town, that's what's really significant and valued. That's quality time that you spend with your family and your friends.
People in a small town focus on family values. Family is very important to them. Religion is very important. I think that plays a key factor.
A small town is the heart of America.
I chose the clarinet and the piano as the instruments in this piece because of the simplicity of the interaction between the two instruments. To me, it really represents what a small town feels like and sounds like.
Every movement in the piece reflects a very particular aspect of a small town.
I selected the titles for Small Town because each one of these inanimate objects stands witness to the life of the community.
The first movement is Flagpole. When I think of Flagpole, I think of the elementary school that I attended when I used to live in Pittsburgh. It was a very small elementary school, and it was shaped in like a semicircle form around a main flagpole. And I just remember sitting in class and looking out my window, and I can see the flag swaying in the wind, and that's what reminds me when I play this movement.
I chose Flagpole as the first movement because the flagpole is situated in the center of town usually, and that's where the community gathers to raise the flag every morning. It's where the center of life begins in the morning and the center of life ends at the end of the day.
The second movement, called Front Porch, reminds me of home. It's very reflective for me, and it's just gorgeous. It reminds me of the front porch where I grew up in Rockville, Ontario, and the beautiful big maple trees, and my dad raking up the leaves, and we jumped in them in the fall.
Front porch is where people's stories are told. It's where intimate connections are made between people.
I imagine myself sitting on a front porch and just absorbing all that's going around me. Second movement is my favorite movement because as I'm playing, the different scenes are just going through my mind.
I chose church pew for the title of the third movement because the church pew stands witness to people's greatest joys and sorrows along their journey of faith throughout their life.
The third movement is church pew, and church pew reminds me of the people that are sitting in church that I can see when I attend church on Sundays. I think about what are going on in their minds, the stories that they bring to church and they want to share while they're sitting there and through their prayers.
And it reminds you of sitting in a church pew on a Sunday morning, just like I used to do with my parents. Get all dressed up and go to church. The melodies, again, are gorgeous. They're beautiful. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be hopeful.
tree swing, which is the fourth movement, is representative of youth, of playfulness, of carefree joy.
In the fourth movement, the tree swing, the clarinet line represents the swing, while the piano part represents the actual tree, including the branches, the leaves that move when a swing swings back and forth.
Tree swing reminds me of my dad. He made me the best tire swing in the world with rope and hooked it up to a huge old oak tree in our backyard, and I would swing on that thing every day. Movement, picket fence, is joyous. It's happy, it's exciting. It's like running along the picket fence with your dog or with your kids.
When you're young, a picket fence is such a playful thing. You can run along the fence with a stick and make the clattering noise, and so this movement has the joy and the fun of a child running along the fence with a stick.
When I was a kid, I would squeak through the little crack in the fence and go run along to my friends in the other yard.
Not just the ordinary fence, but like a decorative fence that runs along a road. And I imagine myself walking on that road and just walking along the fence and just seeing the flowers that stick out of the fence spaces, and just I can see what's over the fence.